it's Melissa. In this video, I am going to take you start to finish on how to do your first direct-to-garment shirt on an Epson F2100 when the shirt requires pre-treat. So that would be any dark or black color shirts. I have a different video on if you are doing direct-to-garment on white shirts which do not require pre-treat. So what I want you to do is get your design ready, get your shirt ready. If you are not familiar with pre-treat, how to pre-treat, I have another video that goes in detail on that. However, if you are familiar with that process and you did not purchase pre-treated shirts, you can pre-treat yourself. Whether you are using a small spraying machine, whether you have a pre-treat machine, or whether you're doing what I would definitely consider to be a DIY beginner level pre-treat, which is to use pre-treat solution in some kind of a paint tray and then use a small roller to roll a large even layer of pre-treat all over your shirt before you then cure the pre-treat solution itself. Once you get to that point, then we are ready to take the next steps of getting our design set up in Garment Creator and then printing. All right, so let's start here in Garment Creator. So we are going to, obviously we have a black shirt, so we are going to start by going to New. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is pick my print setting. Now, if you haven't already created your custom default preset, you are going to want to do that. I have already done that for a couple of different ones, but if you haven't done that, I would highly suggest you do that. And if you're not sure how to create the preset or how to find the best print settings for the specific shirt that you're using, I have different videos on that as well, which I will link to in both the description and the top right of this video. So if you're brand new and you just want to try it, what you can do is pick this dark colors t-shirt standard or dark color garment black using garment black. So it's totally up to you. Using the garment black is going to knock out any black that's in the image itself. So I will actually just use that one in this case so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then the layout settings, we are going to want to use default layout setting, and then we'll click OK. So right now, these are the recommended settings that I have for this shirt. Okay, so this is the preset default, all right? All of the settings here are basically from the preset. If I was to pick something different like this Hanes preset that I made for a different shirt, you can see that the color, the ink density changes a bit here, okay? And that's based on the print settings that I found to work the best. But in this case, we will just use the black color t-shirt, garment black for a beginner project here. All right, now, next thing you need to do is import your image. So you're just going to click here on open and then find the image on your computer. So I have one, I know it's called sarcastic. I'll just find, it's lots of different colors. So we'll find that and I'll import that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one of these that has some white in it so you can see how the white does. We'll do this taco one. I'm gonna click open. Now it's going to come in, it's probably gonna fill this entire block, and you can see it does. It's very large. So one thing, this block here, this rectangle is representing the Platen. So we need to obviously make this smaller. So I'm just using my mouse until I find one of these corner nodules, and then I'm gonna adjust the size. You can do this well, that's the easiest way to do it, to adjust the size. Now, you're going to want to probably look to see how big this is. So I find these rulers a little not really as easy to use as I wish they were, but what you need to know is, in this case, I have every block, every grid line is 1 inch. So if I line up my design at the edge, I can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish, about 10 inches across. Obviously this is a 14 by 16 inch, so I could have also just subtracted. Now I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, okay? And then I'm gonna place it where I want. Now, what the Platen doesn't do in the software in Garment Creator is it doesn't indicate exactly where on the shirt it's going to print. You are gonna position the shirt on the Platen depending on where you want it to print. So if you want to put your shirt with the collar right off of the Platen, then you might want to move this down a little bit. What I like to do is I like to put the image right at the top and then pull the edge of my collar down a little bit. All right, so we've got that all ready to go. And then if you want to adjust anything else, this is where you're going to do it. So I actually am going to increase the level to a 4 or 5. This is going to increase the time it takes to print, but it's going to give me a better print. It's also probably going to give me more white, which is going to increase the hand. So just be aware of that. Again, this is why it's important to, to print that chart, the ink density chart, and figure out what exactly looks best for your actual shirt. Okay, once you're ready for this, then you are going to be ready to print. But let's prepare the shirt on the Platen first. All right, so let's put this shirt on our Platen. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. You can either place it on top completely and then put the frame over that, or you can slide it through. To me, it depends on the size of the shirt, because if the shirt is too small, then it has a hard time sliding. But this one, I am going to do it that way. I actually like doing it that way because it seems to get my shirt flatter, and then I can keep my the Platen a little bit higher. Okay. All right, so obviously you want to make sure, I'm looking at my collar here. I'm going to pull that off. That's kind of what I was talking about before. You need to adjust that. There is a spot here. I'm going to adjust so you can see. There's a little arrow here, a couple dots. That is indicating the middle. All right, so you want the tag of your shirt to be there, okay? And then you're just going to look. I like to look at where everything is. Okay, now we pre-treated this shirt already. Of course, you need pre-treat if you are doing direct to garment on darks, all right? I have a video on direct to garment for lights as well, which does not require pre-treat. Okay, and then once that is ready, then I am going to go into Garment Creator software, and I can tell it that I'm ready to print. You can see the status of the processing right in the software. It has this line across the top. Now see how it says stand by? In a second here, it's going to give me the blue light over here on the F2100. And once I get that light, which I have now, I'm going to press it to print. So that is going to pull the Platen with the shirt on it all the way in to the machine. Now, if it beeps and I get an alert on the front of the screen and it tells me that the Platen is too high, then I'll need to adjust that. But if I'm used to printing these shirts and I know that it needs to be on like a 1 or a 2, I shouldn't need to adjust it at all. Now it's going to now it is going to begin the printing. Now what you're going to see when this comes out is the areas of black in the design did not print, and that is because we told it that we wanted to use the black color shirt, use garment black, which means that the areas of the design that are black, specifically this tacos area, they are not actually going to print black ink. That is the shirt itself showing through there. Not only does that save in ink, obviously, but it also is going to allow your design to have a little bit more breathing room, so it won't be this giant solid design. You're going to have areas of break. Now, after it prints, you are going to need to take the shirt off of the Platen, and then you need to fix it or cure it with your heat press. So I'm going to show you a really cool trick on how to do that so that your shirt is positioned in your hands in a way that makes it extremely easy to put it on the heat press. Okay, so first things first, you're going to take the frame off. Now, if you pull your shirt off this way with your two hands like this, the design is going to be on the outside, and then you have to try to flip it onto your heat press. If you cross your arms like this and carefully pull your design this way, now your shirt is facing you, and when you place it on your heat press, you can place it directly down. The ink is wet, so you need to make sure that not only do you not touch it, but you need to make sure that the shirt itself does not kind of fold or bend on itself at all. Okay, so you need to have your heat press set to about 338 degrees for between 75 and 90 seconds for black shirts, okay? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna bring the shirt over here, And then you're gonna lay it flat down and then just take a piece of parchment paper and lay it flat down. Try not to like move it at all like this. I've actually already cured this one for this reason because I wanted to demonstrate for you. So you're just gonna lay it flat down on top, and then you are going to press with pretty light pressure, about 5 pounds of pressure if you have a pressure knob, and 75 to 90 seconds. When the time is done, the temperature is done, that has heat set the ink, cured the ink, and then your shirt is done. So that's it. Those colors, as you can see on black shirt, super, super vibrant. They really came out. I love this one, actually has like a glittery type effect. So it's really cool. Now, if you have a shirt where you can kind of see the outline of your pre-treat, don't worry. When you throw this in the laundry, that should come out. All right, and then also the hand of the shirt should be a little bit better because you'll rinse out any of that leftover pre-treat. All right. Okay, I would recommend washing inside out. You can hang to dry if you want to dry on low. You can try that as well. But obviously do experiment on the laundering before you sell to a customer and tell them how to handle the laundering of their new DTG shirt. All right, you guys, that's it for how to make a DTG shirt with your Epson F2100 for the very first time. I have lots of other videos on the Epson DTG and DTF printer combo, which is super cool. And lots more on how to use the garment creator. So if you want to check those out, you can find them at the top, also in the description below. If you're looking for the best bundles on getting a F2100 or other options for DTF printers, maybe that don't do DTG, that just do the DTF, I have lots of information on my channel and on Silhouette School blog as well. Don't forget to subscribe. And finally, if you're looking for one-on-one help, I do offer that through Silhouette U. Don't be fooled by the name. We've expanded since our humble beginnings of just focusing on Silhouette. That little portrait machine that you see right back there is my very first machine, and here we are. So we've grown a lot in the last 10 years, and I'm super excited to take you guys from crafting all the way through your businesses and wherever your business takes you. See you soon.